for everybody that's going through something. But you know, when you overcome that, what happens? You glow up. Hey. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. Glow up. Glow up. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. Glow up. Glow up. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. Glow up. Glow up. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Youniq Love, and I'm back with another one. Hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody is taking care of themselves. Welcome to February, aka Black History Month. Oh man, it's such an amazing time, and what a time to be alive. What a time. Man, where do I even begin? I know it's been a little bit since my last episode, and I do apologize, but these will be coming more consistently back to back, so make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're just tuned in to all my social media accounts so you can stay up to date. And there's so much that's going on, so much that's happening. I'm working on so many projects, and I'm super excited. So this was something, though, I know that means a lot to me, so I know I can't get too far away from it and not just come back to it and keep spitting that love, spreading love, positivity, motivation. You know, this is something that's important to me, so I always will come back to it, and I'm going to do better. So with that being said, if we go back to, seeing that this is Black History Month, if we want to go back to the inauguration of, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, it's such an amazing time to be alive and see how far we've come. Because we know for years this has been, a uphill battle, if you will, but a battle to say the least. So to see a black woman be vice president is amazing, and it feels amazing to be a black woman in America, to be able to witness such a thing. So with that being said, just seeing that just definitely motivates me to go harder and to never stop working on my dreams and my goals and things that I want to accomplish, because at that level, seeing someone of your, descent at that level just lets you know that all things are possible. Never give up, and definitely just keep going. Even if it gets hard, even if you get stagnant, even if you don't know if that's something you want to do anymore, you definitely got to keep following your dreams and that first love that you have for yourself. I mean, you never know. When you take the limits off yourself, you never know what could happen, where you could go, where it'll take you. But you got to just stop holding yourself back. And I truly believe that we, meaning ourselves, can be our biggest critic and the biggest roadblock in front of you. Because, yeah, people say this and people going to have their own opinions and say this, say that. But at the end of the day, the choice is still yours to follow your dreams and do what you're going to do despite what they say. And that was me at a point in time. And I know for a fact that, for instance, when it came to me doing music, I did not like how I sounded I didn't like my sound or the sound of my voice when I heard it played back. And I was like, ew. I don't like that. Like, that's what I sound like when I hear it back. And like, the crazy part is, for a while, most of my life, in different instances, I always did interviews, or, I'm taking pictures, or I'm talking to people, I'm communicating with people, and I just never liked how my voice sounded, but I always found myself in front of people. So I was just like, okay. And then one day, just like I said in previous episodes about how I got into music, what took me so long to get into it, because it's definitely a passion of mine, definitely a creative outlet. But the biggest thing was my voice. That's what took me so long to really take it serious. And come to find out, a lot of people love my voice. And I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. And who knows, had I started music a long time ago and started building, a long time ago, who knows where I would be today. I mean, better late than never. Thankfully, I've started it, but I'm just saying, how much further could I have been had I got over my voice? Oh, my voice sounds weird, or I don't like how it sounds. And come to find out, that's the biggest thing. People always tell me when I'm having conversations, just regular conversations, man, you ever thought about doing a podcast? Like, you have such a voice. There's something about your voice that I would just listen to all day. Or if you were telling me something, I would do it just because of how your voice sounds or how you said it to me. And I was just like kind of blown away by that, because for me, that was an insecurity starting out. And now that's the main thing people are looking to hear. They want to hear my voice. People want to hear what I have to say. So I'm just like, you got to get out your own way sometimes. And it can be you just holding you up in your own head, criticizing yourself, thinking that you're not good enough or it doesn't sound good enough, people aren't going to like it. You'd be so surprised that when you, one, get out of your head, and two, get past like people's opinions, that there's so many people in the world that is in need of what you have to say, period. Like, there's so many people out there that, especially right now during this whole pandemic, there's so many people out there that just need to hear a story, that needs to hear something else, that needs to hear that story that might just help change their lives. And one thing I've learned is that sometimes we go through things in life, not because it's for us, but it's because it's for us to tell somebody else how to make it through to the other side, or we went through this and this is how we came out. There's somebody out there that needs to hear that. There's somebody out there that wants to hear that. There's somebody out there that needs to hear that. So I'm really just grateful for the opportunity to even have this platform and to have the voice that I do have, because one day I know that my story is going to get out, or my face, my opportunity is going to come, and it's going to change people's lives. And that's what this is about. That's what my podcast is about. I might joke and play and, crack jokes and, all day. But the first thing about this was to spread love and spread positivity. I mean, with so much going on in the world, you need somebody sometimes just to be like, hey, you got this. Hey, don't get down on yourself. Like, okay, today is a bad moment in time, but it's not the whole day. It's not your whole life. It's just a sucky moment. Get that coffee, do that makeup, get your music going. You got this. And that's what inspired me to really keep moving with this, because I realized out of my friends, and they can tell you, one day I'm going to have them on the panel, and it's just like, I'm that friend though. We might not talk every day, but I know when I'm going through something, I know my friends gotta be going through something too. And because we haven't linked in a while, we might, hey, what's up? How's your day? But I mean, like, that conversation that you need to have with your girls, with your friends. You come to find out when you come together that, oh, they're going through something, you're going through something. But even in the midst of that, I'll be the friend that will, like, on a random, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Tuesday, hey, queen, adjust your crown, do what you need to do today. You're hard working, but it's going to be okay. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. If you need me, I'm here. Other than that, get cute and go do your thing. Go after it. Go get it. Let's go. Let's get it. And they'll text me back, oh my gosh, I just needed to hear that. Thank you so much. And it's so crazy because that's happened time and time again, whether it's my circle or a random person. I can be scrolling through social media and, comment on a post, and they'll either, respond back or hit me on my DM saying, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. Thank you so much. This is something I needed. Like, this was on time. So stop getting in your own way, because you just never know what you might do to help somebody else. And I think that's just important. And right now it's just such a time where people are hungry. People are looking for something, like something of substance too at that. I mean, you got to think about it. We're over a year in this pandemic, so people have been locked in, locked down, quarantined, separated from their families and friends, separated from their jobs. People have been really like locked down. So people are looking for something that's going to help build them back up and get them over this hump, get them over this fog, get them over the funk that they may be in, especially due to quarantine or the pandemic. But there's other just things in their personal lives that they might be going through too. And this one thing right here could really be the thing that just helps them catapult to what they need to be doing or where they need to go. So I'm just really excited about having this type of opportunity and platform. And it's always something that, happens in my day to day that makes me get on here and like want to pour my whole heart out. And every time again, being in my own way, feeling like, oh, nobody's listening, nobody cares. But I have no clue how far this has gotten. I have no clue who is listening, who's not listening, to be honest. And the crazy part is this is on Google Podcasts. This is on iHeart Radio Podcast. This is on Amazon, I believe, Spotify, YouTube. And I don't know who is and who isn't listening, but I pray that if you are listening, that this has touched you in a way and moved you in a way that helped you, do better, move forward on in your life. And that one day this does get to the capacity of maybe Steve Harvey or Ricky Smiley, that I am able to just hop on and help people with their daily lives. And because that's something that means something to me. That's what I enjoy doing. I love helping people. I love just being a good person and doing good deeds and having a good heart. And if I can give you a tad bit of advice, it's definitely going to make sure it be the type of advice that you need to hear. And that's going to do you some good if you really take heed to it. Because I've had youth that I've worked with. I have students that I've worked with. I got some people under my belt that makes me proud, that if I was just at least able to help one person, that I'm happy with that. And I have a few youth right now that's in the Army. I got a few youth right now that's in college, that's pursuing different, career opportunities. And, when we have a chance to connect, it was like, man, thank you. Because it was you that really told me I should do this and I really should pursue this, and now look where I'm at. So it's just an amazing feeling. So speaking on that, on the it's not a downside, but it definitely just has me in my bag, and here's why. So you know how sometimes like you'll go out, or not even go out, but you'll be at home, you'll be watching TV. You'll see all these stories about things that happen to people, and now they're like worse off than before. Or say like, okay, this person was living this fantastic life, and then they get into a car accident, and now they have no arms, or they're an amputee, or this person was a beautiful model and she got burnt, or she got attacked by a chimpanzee and now her face is tore up. Something like along those lines. Like you hear stories all day long about these people who were living a life or whatever they were doing, and then they end up, in a just not as who or how they were before. So I have a friend. So about a couple weeks ago, I was visiting my uncle, and he was telling me about one of my friends. Now, mind you, I haven't seen my friend that we're speaking of in like probably about 2.5 years now. Now, the last time I seen this person, we were actually out. It was my birthday, matter of fact. I want to say 2018, November 2018. It was my birthday, and we happened to bump into each other at a local spot, and it was like, oh my gosh, like, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, he's like, sis, like, what's up? Like, because he had been locked up. This just got out from doing like a heavy amount of time, like probably 5 years or more. So I'm just like, yo, like, he's like, the first thing he said to me was like, I apologize about hearing about your child's father. How me and him rolled, like we was really close. So, my condolences. And it just kind of went from there. So me and my friend, like we were cool. Like we hung out. Him and my child's father were very good friends, and there were often times that the three of us hung out and just hung out. And so this night in particular, we ran into each other. We're just catching up with one another, and he's just riding with me wherever I decided to go. It was my birthday. We were hanging out, riding out, had a good time, had a great time actually. But by the end of the night, though, I couldn't find him. And I was just like, okay, like, I waited at the spot until everybody left. Like, this man was nowhere to be found. So I'm like, well, he must be good because he's not in here. He's not passed out somewhere. Like, he's not in the bathroom somewhere. So, obviously he's okay. So, mind you, this was November 2018. I lied to you not. God is my witness. My family is my witness. January 8th, 2021, I was visiting my uncle down. And mind you, even after from November 18th till January, I haven't seen this man, heard of him, nothing. And literally January 8th, I'm sitting at my uncle's table, and he's like, well, did you hear about so-and-so, which is my friend, and how he's paralyzed? I said, what? Nah, not my guy. Nah, we was just, in my head, I was like, we was just together. Like, no, because that's how I felt, because it seemed like we are just together, hanging out, having a good time, taking pictures, and everything else. And he's like, no. And I started like thinking about it. I was like, well, this is like, I haven't seen him in a while, but that was the last time I seen him. So it felt like I had just seen him. And, come to find out, he was in a car accident and ended up being paralyzed from the neck down, which makes him a quadriplegic. And I'm like, no, not my guy. Nah, y'all got the wrong person. Y'all talking about somebody else. You're not talking about him. I just seen him. He's good. Now, I haven't talked to him in a while, but I got pictures with him. He's good. They're like, no, Youniq. This is really true. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Change the subject. Literally, today, February 1st, 2021, I hop on, after, I do my little morning routine, I get on Facebook, and this YouTube video, he had this YouTube video recorded of him talking about the accident and everything that kind of led up to that, and I'm just like, pretty much in tears, like, oh my gosh, this is really true. This is you. That was you. That is you. And here you are, like, telling about the story that happened. And I'm just like, it was hard to wrap my mind around it. It actually still is hard. I mean, I understand, what happened. But it's just like, it was so crazy just to have seen the last time I seen you. You know what I'm saying? You was up, you was well, you was cool, and then now you're really a quadriplegic in a wheelchair, and you have to be taken care of and things like that. But that was just hard to wrap my mind around. And then just the whole story, though, he really began to open up about the story and what happened, and he was just like, some stuff you don't come back from, but here I am. And so I just hope and pray that his story gets out there and that it does touch people, because it is a very touching story, if you ask me, and especially if you are a person that is struggling with addiction or substance abuse. This should be definitely one of those stories you should look at. And it's touching for me because, like I said before, you hear about stuff like this or you see it on TV, and these people, you don't know them from Adam, but it hits different when this is a person you've seen with your own two eyes, you've interacted with, you've hung out with, you've talked to, you know their family, their people, their kids, and then you see them one way up, good, moving around, and then you see them again, and they can only move from the neck up. So it just hits differently and puts life in a different perspective. And like I said, I hope that anyone that is dealing with drug abuse, addiction, substance abuse, alcoholism, that if you see this, that it just helps you get the help that you may need. Now, a lot of people don't want to talk about it or admit their flaws or admit their issues, but it's still there. And whether you want to talk about it publicly or not, go get help. That's the biggest thing I could say, is just go seek and find help. There is help out there. Even if you feel like there's nobody you can trust, nobody you can count on, you got to get help, man. You do. It was really hard watching that video. But that's something he has to go through because of his karma. And he said that. So, with that being said, that's a story that I hope that touches a lot of people and hope to get them moving in the right direction, that hopefully you won't have to go through a life-changing experience to get your life changed or to change your life. That, I mean, I'm sorry, we're grown. We all know. We all know right from wrong. We all know the consequences of certain things, of everything, if you will. It's simple. We know that. And I'm sure plenty of us have participated in DARE programs. Some of this shit's been planted in our head from elementary school, grade school. So, we know. We can never say we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can't never say we didn't know what the consequences possibly could be. So with that being said, I just hope that if you are out there struggling with anything, go get help, seek out help, talk to somebody that can at least get you help so that you can get better, man. That is one thing I definitely want to use this platform for. Again, spreading love, positivity, and yes, using my stories and experiences of life and talking about them, expressing them, and how I overcame so I can help the next person. Because life isn't easy by a long shot. It is really, really not. And sometimes we can get into such a funk or down in a dark place and just feel like we're the only one in this place, where you can feel like we're the only person going through things. But at the end of the day, you're not. You're really, really not. And also, with that being said, I think that not only this being Black History Month, I really think every month should be Mental Health Awareness Month, because especially now, have been in this pandemic, like I said, so many people are experience so many different life changes that it does start to take a toll on you mentally, and that it's okay to reach out for help. Can we normalize being okay to say, all right, maybe I do need help. Maybe I do need to find out some better coping skills or a better way to deal with these negative emotions and feelings. Can we normalize that instead of just trying to drink our pain away, substance abuse our pain away? Can we normalize saying, it is I, and I need someone get me to the right place? And then also normalizing the difference in what things means. For instance, a psychiatrist and a therapist. A lot of people don't want to get help because they think they need to go see a psychiatrist, and think that they're psycho and there's something really wrong with them, and that they're just going to push meds and things like that. That is not true. There is a huge difference between a psychiatrist and a therapist. And I had the opportunity to understand the difference between the two. So, of course, I'm going to explain it. The difference is a therapist / counselor is there to listen to you and help you find positive coping skills, find positive ways to cope with negative emotions. Whereas a psychiatrist, yes, those are the ones that can diagnose you with bipolar, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, all these other disorders and stuff like that, and then push meds to help cope with that. Now, me personally, And honestly, I have never passed a psych class because I always had something to say to these psych, teachers or professors who think that these psych ways are the only ways to dealing with things. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. There's no pill that is going to help deal with, for instance, a person getting raped, a person losing their father, a person losing their mother, this person that has experienced a traumatic event in their life. I'm sorry, there's no pill in the world that is going to take that experience away. So, with that being said, there might be people out here that's been misdiagnosed. There might be people out here that's not diagnosed. And then there might just be people out here just going along with it. And at the end of the day, they just needed somebody to talk to get it out, to be heard. And then how do I then now do, and that starts the healing process. Okay, I'm acknowledging I went through this. I'm acknowledging it happened to me. Now I feel XYZ. This is why. But now, how do I get over this? I'm sorry, a pill is not going to help that. And then that's where a therapist would come in. Well, when you are feeling down, you need to be reminded about how far you have come. You need to remember and be reminded of the things you have done correctly, so that you don't stay in that one negative place about that one negative thing, because life goes on and you can be missing out on life because of this one thing. So that's where a therapist and a counselor comes in, just to help navigate how to deal with the negative emotions. For so long, I believe we've been programmed to either sweep it under the rug or drown it out. There's been not too many, in-betweens there where it's a positive. Whereas now that I'm growing and learning and just coming through my own obstacles, that, yeah, there's a dire need in me to survive and overcome everything. I refuse to let anything I've ever been through keep me in that negative place, because there's so much more life to live. But that's me. Everyone doesn't have that thought process. Everyone doesn't have that mindset. So how do you get somebody that is going through something that they feel nobody understands, and no one is going to get? How do you get them to that? And I believe this is where my calling now comes from, because I know for a fact no pill is going to change that. I am not crazy for being emotional about something that happened to me. I might get down about it, but I'm not crazy. That doesn't mean that I'm unlovable. That doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that I need to figure out, how do I now get over this? And that's where a lot of people's issues are. That yes, this happened to me, but I don't know how to move on. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to be myself when I'm feeling this way. That's where the differences start to come in, and then you learn. Seeing a therapist, or now Google thinks that they know everything, finding different ways to cope. And that's something that is important, is seeking out ways to cope. Because it may seem like some days you're perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, nothing bothers you. And then it might seem like one day somebody just look at you the wrong way and it sets you off immediately. And you're just in a funk that you feel like you can't get out of, or just feeling all type of ways and don't know how to move, don't know how to deal. And then you find yourself in a depression now because you just feel like everything's going wrong and all somebody did was just look at you. So we have to find positive coping skills on how to deal with these negative emotions when they arise. And I believe if we could find within ourselves more positive outlets, that there would be less mental health crisis across the board. Because, for instance, me personally, when I'm feeling a type of ways, I like to move, I like to listen to music, or, talk it out. Write it down in my journal, like, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. That was first thing for me, because I was the type of person that bottled everything up, held everything in, would never even talk about stuff. And then I'd be so bottled up with stuff that I would be that person that if you bumped into me, looked at me, said something crazy, I'm snapping. But here, and they're like, well, you went in and they just bumped into you and said, I'm sorry. And you just snapped. So I started looking at the patterns of things of how I was acting and reacting to stuff. And I was like, wow, that's me. So I didn't want those things to define me though, because, sometimes in those irate moments, you will cause such a tornado or such an issue that, one, you didn't even realize, or two, know the damage that you did until after the fact. And I'm sorry, some things that you may say or do, you may not necessarily come back from. So, we got to start somewhere. And the first part is saying, yes, I have an issue. Yes, this happened to me. You know what I'm saying? We have to get in find someone that we can confide in, whether it's a person, a diary, a journal, whatever the case may be. We have to start, acknowledging these hurts and pains, because that's the first step of the healing process. And I truly believe when people say time heals all wounds, I don't necessarily believe that in a sense. I believe talking about it in due time starts to heal wounds, because if you don't never talk about it, it's just there until you uncover it. So that's where the process begins to start, the healing process. The faster or the sooner or later, but whenever you start acknowledging it, what happened, and how it made you feel, then that's when you'll be able to allow the healing process to begin so you can get over it. And there's so many different things out there now. I mean, if you really need to, yes, go find a therapist that can help you find coping skills that match you. At the same time, this is not a one-for-all type of Band-Aid. People got big scars, little scars. You know what I'm saying? You got to get whichever Band-Aid works for your situation. You got to get whatever type of help and coping skills that's going to help you in your situation. It's all about you. And for you to get back right, for you to get back on track, you got to take those steps for you, and you got to do those things that work for you. So with that being said, again, if you're aware of it, don't be ashamed, because, like I said, some things in life happen and we have no understanding, or doesn't feel like it's fair, and this, that, and the third, and it could be a lot, but that story is to make you stronger and to help somebody else. So when I started changing my mindset about certain things, it's been so much easier on me, because now when I do open my mouth up or get around people or talk to people and I can relate to them because I've been in a certain situation, they look at me first like, what? Not you. Because for some reason everyone thinks I have my life together and that nothing, I've never been through nothing, but I have a very, very crazy life story, and all that has made me the person I am today. So a lot of people see who I am today, but they didn't see everything I went through that made me who I am. So I love talking about my story, and I hope that it would motivate, inspire someone else to overcome, different obstacles in their life. And that's what this is about. So again, I'm super excited just what the future holds. Thank you all so much for just tuning in, listening. I hope that I was able to motivate someone, help someone out, and just spread love. That's just what this is about. We need as much love right now as we possibly can get. And I'm sending out a bunch of love, hugs, to everyone that's in need of it. Everyone that hears this, I really hope that you're taking care of yourself, keeping up with yourself, maintaining yourself as best you can, given the circumstances. And I just hope that this helps someone. So, again, reach out. Even if I'm almost done with my life coach certifications to be certified as a life coach, I'm super excited and I cannot wait. I'm almost done. I'm like three-fourths of the way done, so I have like the last part to do, and then it will be official, and I will be offering services as well. But once I get that up and running, I will definitely let you guys know. So again, thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Get ready to hear the next one. Also, I have merchandise available from Royalty by Youniq. That's available now. Make sure you look in the description box. Check it out. Connect with me on social media, and let's help one another. All right? So, love to be you. I am Youniq. Y'all take care. Until next time.
This for everybody that's going through something. But you know, when you overcome that, what happens? You glow up. Hey. We about to glow up. We about to glow up. We about to